Thanks, Mark. There are 5 errors of execution when it comes to strategy. A faulty strategy, poor communication, unclear resource requirements, weak accountability, and lack of calibration. A faulty strategy comes from having a mentality of either developing a successful strategy or executing one. Using both in harmony is the winning goal for success. Poor communication. In my business, we see this time and time again, as I'm sure that you see it in your businesses. We have a particular facility currently at Navistar that is a poor performer in Dallas, Texas. Basically, no one knows what's going on except that they need to pick orders and get these parts out the door to the dealers, and they need to put away the inventory that's coming in the back. Middle management behaves in a very reactive manner because they are not involved in the planning process or any part that involves a strategy of how they're going to get their work done. In contrast, Portland's facility has been #1 in our network for the past over 3 years. And they do this and achieve their success based on an everyday practice of executing strategy. Our middle management at Portland is very aware of productivity targets, safety performance goals, and high quality in order to get the strategy of the right part to the right dealer at the right time. Weak accountability. Also in this same example, our Dallas facility experiences lack of accountability in that the managers of the facility refuse to fire anybody, be it an employee on the floor or even the middle management that's not performing. The fear is that they don't have enough people to actually run the business, or that the employee just really isn't that bad enough to fire. So we can relate that to our other book that we're reading based on pruning. So if you have a performer that's really not performing, but they're just kind of okay, they're not going to execute the strategy that you're looking for, and they need to go. Lack of calibration. Again, in my example of Navistar's Dallas facility, they don't have a daily meeting to talk about how the operation is going to get through the day, nor do they even have a weekly meeting to discuss any of the history of the week, the past month, anything like that. They just don't meet together. In an operation that has no plan, there will always be chaos. In contrast, again, our Portland facility meets daily, both in the morning and at the midday, to discuss the ebb and flow of the work and redistribute either work on the outbound side to get the parts out the door, or if they're heavy in receiving the inventory in the back, how they need to manage their workload and their manpower. Also, they have a weekly meeting where they review all of the safety, quality, and productivity output in order to readjust if necessary going forward. The last part is unclear resource requirements. So on slide 3, using our resource calculator, we decided to use the GFU program as a gauge to determine the feasibility of attending an MBA program. So using this example, you can see where we, in theory, would need to allocate some resources in order to execute our strategy. So now I turn it over to Anna, and she will talk to you about GHOST.